Hello, friends. Okay, so this is totally new to me. Um, oh, wow, Rob Campbell. That's one of my mom's best friends. Hello. Um, yeah, this is great. So, this is all very new to me. It's weird talking to you and seeing myself be about a minute behind what I'm actually doing. I'm a minute in the future for you. Um, so this is super wild. So I'm gonna have my phone over next to me. So if something goes wrong, I can see the green little light. But if something goes wrong, if someone who has my phone number, just send me a text and we'll see what happens. Yeah. Okay. So. I'm going to back up just a little bit here now so that we can get into a good space. So, what I would like to do today is, yes. So yesterday was my 40th birthday. Thank you to everyone who sent messages. I felt super loved, super honored. I know I'm a little far away from you camera wise, but it's the best I could do to get it in frame. So some of you know, if you read my post, you read my newsletter about 10 years ago when I was practicing with some friends. My friend Hannah had us do 40 Urdhva Dhanurasanas, so 40 back bends, in honor of her 40th. And I was absolutely terrified to do this. I mean, shaking when I got there. And it turned out to be one of the most profound experiences, really, of my life. As I got to just get really quiet and really focused on the present and just kind of stepping into a capacity I didn't know I had. And that has really been a journey for me over the last 10 years of moving from ill health through pregnancy, through some major mental health issues, through divorce, through rebuilding of that, is just learning what capacity I have and hoping that you can reflect a little bit today through your practice over the capacity that you've learned that you have. And so one of the great things about back bends is they're said to be, by some people, the most transformational class of poses because they open the heart, both the energetic heart and the chest, and they build better breath so that we can have more good prana come in. But the trick is, what happens when our hearts are open? They can break, right? When our hearts are open, we can feel whatever is coming our way really deeply, whether that's deep joy or profound sadness or apathy or fear or anxiety. We really feel it all because we're not fighting it, and it's there with us. And so backbending at this time to kind of celebrate my life, and also to celebrate that I get to share it with you all, and that to take even this time while we're celebrating to acknowledge and to recognize the climate that we're celebrating it in, and how surreal it is, and how whatever we're feeling in response to this virus, to this new ways of living, that's okay. And that as we open ourselves to that, wow, we can really step into this capacity. So I'm seeing a lot of chats, chat comments. So I've got all of my devices here. So I just want to log back in or look at it so that I can see what people are saying. Okay, cool. So lots of just hellos. All right, so I'll keep checking on this periodically. It's so weird seeing myself a minute behind. But all right, so let's just take a quiet minute now that you've heard me ramble. So just sit well, close your eyes. You can have your hands wherever you like, in your lap, on your thighs, in front of your heart to help open and even embrace and protect in a really sweet way. This space is the heart as we honor and build and discover capacity that perhaps we didn't know we had. So just take a couple breaths with that. All right, let's begin. So we are going to work up to 8 back bends timed at 50 seconds each, because 8 times 5 is 40. So not 40 back bends, but somewhere near 40. So what that requires is some really grounding and strength in the legs, opening in the quads, opening in the front body. So we're going to be practicing for an hour-ish. We'll see what happens. Downward facing dog. So as you come into your downward facing dog, clean off your mat. And again, as always, if you've been in class with me, just start to find a space where your wrists are parallel to the front of the mat and your fingers are spread wide. So spread wide just as we're spreading wide the heart, anchoring into that space. And then if you want to start to bend your knees, walk it out a little bit. Feel free to do that if you want to just stay steady, if you want to take like a couple cat-cow tilts and rolls here. Do it a little bit small so that you don't overstrain your back muscles early on, because we're going to need them. So just take about 2 more breaths here. And as you breathe into the space between your shoulder blades and your back body. The space that holds kind of the pillow for the heart. And then as you inhale, start to come forward with your shoulders above your wrists, just coming into plank pose and feeling the steadiness of your core engaging, feeling it support you from the inside out. And then shift forward. You can lower your knees to the floor if you'd like, or start to bend your elbows alongside your waistline and lower all the way down. We'll just start with a little baby cobra, so it doesn't have to be intense. And just start small. Start with the breath. Because we don't get to these big high points in life quickly. We do them in small increments. So just start small. And then if you'd like, you can take your fingers out to the side a little bit, start to round, and then maybe lift up a little bit like that, and then exhale, let it wave down. And then inhale, let yourself lift up, melting your heart forward and through, and then exhale, lower it back down. And then place your palms on the floor, tuck your toes, reach your hips back towards your heels as you come into a child's pose, and just feel the deliciousness of the stretch, of the breath that you can expand and direct towards your back body. It's the back body of where you've been, of all that you've experienced and gone through in this life. Help support you as you move forward. And then with your toes tucked under, start to lift your hips up and come to a bent knee, downward facing dog to begin. And then maybe start to stretch your legs to straight, full stretch. And then we'll just walk for the first time. So you can start to walk, step your feet forward between your hands, and exhale, unfold. Let's take 2 breaths here. So you're starting to engage the legs, feeling your feet strong and flat on your mat. And then inhale, rise and reach all the way up to the sky, little baby back bend, little baby back bend. And then exhale, lower your hands down together in front of your heart. So you can make any clothing adjustments that you need at any time. I try to resist that, but it's necessary. So do what you need to do. Okay, so we'll just take 2 or 3 sun salutes with a couple of lunge postures in that to help, once again, to get down into the steadiness of the legs. So then inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, bend your knees, sit deeply. Sitting deeply. And then start to stretch your legs straight as you exhale and fold. Place your palms and you can step to plank or jump to Chaturanga Dandasana. And then inhaling cobra or upward facing dog. Your choice. Taking care not to round the shoulders forward, but to bend the elbows in so you hug into the midline. You hug into the source of strength and capacity into which you can settle, into which you can open. And then tucking your toes, once again, reach your hips back towards your heels, lift your hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. And then with your inhale, start to reach your left leg to the sky. Don't go too far, so we're not opening up really big. Again, we're keeping it small first. Small so that we stay connected to the core. And then bring the knee forward. Lift it up as you step your foot down, and you can use your hand to step your foot forward as much as need be. And then plant your back heel down. Now, rather than just rising up and then sweeping your arms, play with going from a place of steadiness. So you inhale, stretch the arms forward first, and then pushing out through your back foot, rise all the way up, Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. And maybe back out just a little bit. So you breathe and settle. Breathe and settle. And then pivot onto the ball mound of your back foot. And as you hinge forward, walk your right hand, so I'm not mirroring you today, walk your right hand over to the side and stretch your left arm up. Just for a nice little twist. So we had some requests for hip opening, shoulders and twists, all of which we'll get in this practice. So welcome one more breath. And then lower your hand, stretch your front leg to straight, and bow in. Doesn't matter how far you go. Seeing if you can keep your pelvis level. Maybe come up to your heel, just to awaken the back of the leg. And then slowly lower the foot to the floor. Step it back, plank pose. Lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale back, downward facing dog. And then with your next in-breath, again, we'll go to the right side. So lifting it up. And now from your hands and feet, pull in towards your midline and draw in towards the back of your heart. And then from there, push out and down through your hands, up and out through your foot. And then step the foot forward, plant your back heel, reaching your arms forward for steadiness. Inhale, rise up. And then exhale, I think we went about 3 or 4 breaths. So just stay quiet in your breath. And then as you're ready, lower your hands, pivot onto the ball mound of your back foot, hinge forward, taking your right hand over to the right. Stretch your left arm up to the sky. Sorry, left hand to the left, right arm to the sky. I'm so used to saying this backwards, it's so weird. But get full through the sides of your waistline. Get full through your rib cage as you stretch and open your fingertips to the sky. And then you can lower your hands and stretch both legs to straight as you fold. Once again, we'll take just another little flow step back to plank pose. I'll show it knees to the floor if you'd like. Lower all the way down. Inhaling cobra or up dog. Bend your knees. Shift your hips back, downward facing dog. And then walk your feet forward. Now, I would encourage you, if you don't typically do this, right, to give yourself a little challenge, to try bending your knees and jumping forward. So bend your knees. And as you jump, you're going to kind of hug your legs together and look and see where you want to go. So bend your knees, shift, jump, and down. Well, that was a particularly good one. Exhale, fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, lower your hands down. Adjust your wardrobe. So I say this in class a lot, but I've read every now and then somebody invented yoga pants that don't slide down your waistline when you move. I don't believe that that actually exists. Inhale, stretch up, bend your knees. And let's start with another little twist here. So bring your hands together in front of your heart and let your shoulders float up onto your back body. Then out of the steadiness of your legs, so maybe looking down and seeing that the knees aren't knocking together, but they're strong and steady. Bend the knees and start to twist just a little bit to the left. So we'll go deeper in a little while, but just a little bit to the left. And then switch a little bit to the right. Again, small little increments to build strength and capacity. That can open the heart. Exhale, fold. Place your hands, step to plank or jump to chaturanga. Inhaling cobra or up dog. And exhaling back down facing dog. Let's take 2 breaths here. And then inhale, stretch your left leg up. Step the foot forward and through, and then this time lower your back knee down. And if you have kind of a thin mat or this hurts your knee, you can fold the mat over and place it under your knee. And again, we'll reach arms forward first, so there's a sense of connection from the periphery of your body, from your hands and feet, drawing into pelvis, supporting up through heart and chest. As you inhale, lift up, and then we bend your elbows to help you draw shoulder blades together and start to tip your elbows forward. And then if you would like to stretch your arms to straight, you may. And we're going to start to hinge from the hips and come into a hip opener, one of our deliberate hip openers. All the standing poses help open up the hips. So I'll show this from the front in a moment. You're going to take the hands wide and then press your seat, your hips back, and then scoop your tailbone underneath you. So I'll show what that looks like from the front. So I'm going to press the hips back, scoop it under, and then I'll bend the elbows and melt the chest through, melt the heart through. Now you're welcome to stay here. This might be plenty. This might be plenty. Or you can lower down to your forearms. Maybe come on to the outer edge of your front foot. And then when you're ready, plant your foot back on the floor. Spin around and start to step. Well, you don't have to spin around because you were already facing forward. So now we'll go for a thigh stretch. So 2 options here. To inhale, come up. To place your hand on your front thigh for steadiness. And then to reach and hold your back foot to help start to engage and open the quads. Pressing down through the big toe ball mound of front foot. So this might be plenty for you. You can also add a twisting component, taking the left hand over to the left and then holding the foot with the opposite hand. Gosh, I keep getting that wrong. Right hand over to the right, holding right foot with left hand. And if neither of those are working for you, this might be plenty. So go where you need to go. I'm going to go for the twist. This is called Parivrtta Anjaneyasana. And then slowly lower your back foot down. Inhale, return to the center, and then we'll go again for a hamstring stretch, back body stretch. And then maybe taking your hands out to the side, melting your heart forward and through. So sometimes we call this runner's lunge, which is accurate. It's not a very yogic term. So it can also be thought of as Ardha Hanumanasana, so half Hanuman. And so the full Hanuman pose is a full forward split. And the legend is that Hanuman was given all of these great capacities, these great gifts, but he wouldn't know he had them until he used them in the service of others. And so he finds that one of his gifts is to get really large. And he finds that when he's in service of his Lord, and he's off to find his Lord's companion who's been captured by a demon, she's across the ocean, and he gets to one side and he takes a huge, one big giant leap over the ocean, because he's doing that in service of something bigger than himself. So I hadn't planned on telling you all that or putting Hanumanasana in the practice, but now you know it's coming. I'll give modifications. So one more breath here. And then lower your foot, lift your back knee. Options to go through the flow again, or to jump switch and go to the second side. Bending the knee. Inhale, rise up. And so Anjaneyasana, I could be completely wrong about this, but if I remember correctly, Anjaneya is the mother of Hanuman. Maybe bending elbows, little cactus arms, lifting and opening chest. Full deep breath. And then hinging from your hips, shift your hips back and start to come into the hip opening variation, or the lizard variation. Again, you could be on hands, you could be on forearms, maybe coming onto the outer edge of your front foot. And so now oftentimes in this pose, we round the back. So instead of rounding the back and collapsing through your heart, soften your chest forward and through, as though there's support for the opening in your heart to receive whatever comes its way, because there actually is. However we want to define it, friends, God, nature, sweetness, whatever it is, there's support. And then as you're ready, inhale, take a breath, come on out. Bring your left hand over to the side and find whatever thigh stretch worked for you. So you bend your back knee. If you're holding your foot in either variation, push your foot into your hand and then your hand into your foot to engage the muscles a little bit more, all the way up into the core. And then inhale, come back to the center. Now I kind of talked at length on the first side. So we'll hold this side hopefully about as long. But another way I like to think of Ardha Hanumanasana or full Hanumanasana is the Indiana Jones pose, where he's at the end of, I can never remember the name of that. Whatever. The third Indiana Jones movie, when he takes a step into the abyss and trusts that there'll be something there. And one more breath. Now maybe drag your heel back. Slowly place your palms on the floor. And then sweep the leg up to the sky just to be even. And then lower the foot down. And let's settle in here for just about 3 breaths. And then bending your knees, walk or jump to the top of your mat. And fold in. And now as you fold in, So options here. You can bend your knees as much as you need to take a hold of your big toe mounds, or you can stay in the forward fold with your hands on thigh or shins. But as you hold your toes, looping index and middle finger around, start to bend your elbows out to the side so that your heart can come through. Staying strong and steady through your legs, perhaps giving a slight bend to the knees so that they're not hyperextending. And then if you want to shift your variation, you can step on your hands. And as you fold, press your palms up into the ball mounds of your feet, and then press the ball mounds of your feet down into your palms. And then slowly release that as you're ready. Bend your knees, reach your arms forward, and inhale, rise up. Tita Tadasana. And then bring your palms down together in front of your heart. Close your eyes for a moment. And breathe. Feel the steadiness of your legs, your feet supporting the opening in your breath, your torso, your chest, beating of your heart. And then you can slowly release your hands, adjust, grab some water if you need it. All right, let's keep going. So let's go into some standing poses now. So just a really simple flow. Nothing too fancy at first. I haven't decided yet. I might bling it up in a moment, but we'll just start really simple. So inhale, stretch your arms up, bend your knees, Utkatasana, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, lift to look forward, exhaling to bow. Place your palms, step or jump, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg to the sky. And this time you can bend the knee and open up your hip. But take care, sometimes we sink into one shoulder. So see if you can hug your arms in so that your shoulders are not moving. Your arms and shoulders are in one plane. And it's just your leg, just your hip, just your thigh opening. And then stretch the leg straight. Step it forward between your hands. Plant your back heel. And now, unfortunately, I'm going to have my back to you right now, but you can see what's going on in the shoulders here. So we're going to inhale, come on up for Virabhadrasana 2. And as you inhale, maybe take your arms forward on a diagonal, float up through the sides of your waistline, and then draw the shoulder blades together. It's not here in the neck. It's the base of the shoulder blades coming together, again, supporting the energetic heart. So you gaze over your front hand and breathe 2 breaths. Lower your back hand down, turn your front palm forward, and take a nice, again, little baby back bend. Starting to stretch and opening the front body a little bit more. And then stretch your front leg to straight. This is my favorite front body opener, psoas opener. Pressing down through your back leg. Inhale, lift up through your chest. And then stretch your arms out to the side. Now, rather than hinging at the waistline or rounding, take your arms out to the side and keeping your pelvis steady, just hinge around the hip joint. And you can bring hand to thigh, to calf, to a block, or to the floor. My bottom shoulder tends to round forward, so I'm going to invite it to move back. So again, there's a clean line between fingertips and support for the back body. So you breathe into the steadiness of your legs. Maybe lift and spread your toes. And then take a couple more breaths. There was a time in my life when I could go super far and back bend so much that I could almost reach my fingertips to the floor. I no longer have the capacity to do that. So our capacity changes over time. But as we meet it where it is, we can find fullness in whatever we're doing. So then look forward and step up. Ardha Chandrasana. resting the back foot. Taking a breath, you can also have your hand on your hip. And if this is not a pose that is good for you or that you don't have the capacity for today, that's fine. You do what you can. And we'll take a an Uttanasana with one leg lifted variation. I'm going to go back. And then bending your knee, take a hold of your foot. And rather than having the knee up, push your foot into your hand to start and open that way. Or if you're in forward fold, you can hold it that way. Just one more breath here. And then stretch the legs straight. Roll the top of the thigh in to square your hips. And step back for Parsvottanasana. And then we'll inhale, come on up. Options here to hold your wrists, to hold your hips, or to go for reverse Anjali Mudra, so reverse prayer position. If you come to Anjali Mudra and your shoulders are rounding forward, which they tend to do as we're getting into the pose, inhale, float the sides of the waistline long, and then not initiating from the head of the arm bone, but from the muscles behind your scapula, float your shoulders back. And then hinge at your hips. And just fold as far as feels steady and integrated for you. So it might be here. You might fold from your hips a little more. That feels good to me today. That feels about as steady as I want to go. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you have to do something. Right? You move into the fullness of your heart and your capacity for where it is in this moment. And then release that, bring your hands to the floor. If you have a block, you can place your block on the inside or the outside of your foot for revolve triangle pose, or you can bring your hand to the floor. Now, rather than having your front hip go forward, see if you can draw it back and then stretch your arm up to the sky. And the twist is happening all in your waistline. I'm not pulling around from my shoulders. I'm revolving from my core, revolving from the steadiness that's there. 2 breaths. And then lower your hand down. Place your palms, step back. Down dog, sweep your leg into the sky. Now, option here to challenge your vinyasa. You can lower your top foot down or shift your weight forward, one leg lifted. Hug elbows in, lower down. Inhale, lift up, cobra. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up, bend the knee. Step the foot forward and through. And inhale, come on up. That wasn't the most integrated shift. I was just looking at my text read. So then just stretching your arms out to the side for Virabhadrasana 2. And not sinking too far forward, keeping knee over ankle. And then inhale, nice big full breath. And exhale, soften. And settle into the support and the strength in your legs. Flip the palm forward, bring the opposite hand back. And see if you can lift and lengthen from the sides of your waistline as you spin your belly and chest open. 2 breaths. And then stretch your front leg straight. I just realized we never did side angle, but that's okay, we don't need to. And stretch your arms out to the side, again, hinging from your hips. Start to fold in towards Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. I tend to lengthen my stance a little bit on my way there. You can do that if you'd like. Press down through the outer edge of your back foot to engage out all the way through the legs and fill up through your core as you then stretch and enjoy. I was talking again on the first slide, so we'll stay 3 breaths. And then look to the floor to see where you're going. Bend your back knee, slide forward a little bit, and then step up to whatever Ardha Chandrasana variation suits you at this moment. Again, the leg isn't too high, straining around the hip. We're going to keep it in line with the hip and shoulder. And then this is always hard when I try to say this. If you can revolve your gaze to the sky and you want to try it, go for it. If not, gaze to the floor, spine super steady. Maybe hold the top foot. press the foot, press the foot into the hands to give you the power to open up through your chest. So the foundation is what we need. The support is what we need. Supportive body, friends, family, the divine, to help us move into the fullness of the heart, to help us hold whatever arises there. And stretch the legs straight. Lower down. I forgot we did this. Oh, nope. Not there yet. And inhale, come on up. Apparently I forgot we did this too. So place your hands wherever they can and need to go for your Parsvottanasana. Inhale, float up, shoulders back, and then hinge from your hips. We'll stay here for about 3 or 4 breaths. Notice I'm not floating the shoulders down, they're lifting up, back body, heart supported. And then you can hinge down. Again, block could go on hand, inside or outside of foot. Drawing your front hip back. Start to reach it up and open. And lower your hand as you're ready. Down dog, sweeping the leg up to the sky. And then inhale, one-legged plank. Lower down, both feet on the floor. Cobra or up dog. Exhale, back downward facing. And then bend your knees, look forward, step, hop, jump, and fall. Let's do a nice little twist here. So you can bend your knees, take your, what is this? I'm going to take my right hand over to the left. You can have the hand on the floor or hold the calf. Inhale, lift up and out of the twist first. So you lift up and out of the forward fold first to get the steadiness in your legs and core so that when you twist, it's only happening from your waistline. As you twist around and fold. And then inhale, come back to the center. And second side again. Lift up and out of the twist first. So you find your steady support to hold the expansion in the back body and heart as you twist. And inhale, come back to center. Exhale, fold. And then bending your knees, reach your arms forward, rise all the way up to standing, and exhale, lower your hands down. Great, so we'll do one, it's my birthday, so we're gonna party like I want to. So we'll do the standing Padangusthasana, extended leg sequence. And I'll show variations, and then we'll move into a thigh stretch. So standing on your, now I gotta mirror you. Standing on your right leg, lift your left knee up. This may be as far as you go, holding the shins, or you can hike the knee up higher and hold the foot. And then you'll push through the inseam of the leg to stretch it to straight. Maybe take your opposite arm out to the side again. You can do this all holding the knee. This is one of my favorite poses. So I tend to practice super early in the morning when it's dark. Well, not super early when it's dark. And it's really hard to balance in the dark. So it's kind of nice to do this in the light. It's a totally different experience. And then widen the leg out to the side. I only go about 45, 50 degrees. I don't go all the way out to the side. And then bring the leg back to center. Switch the hands. If you're holding the knee, switch the opposite knee. Now, rather than pulling the leg across you again, keep the steadiness in your foundation and core, and you're only revolving in your upper body. I have this nice wall and painting behind me to press into. So if you've got that, use that support. It feels awesome. And we'll inhale, come back to the center, bend the knee, reach it around behind you, same hand as foot. Push the foot into your hand And stretch your opposite arm forward, or I love, it's because it helps me stay connected to the midline. I always feel so, excuse me, scattered in my periphery that anything to bring back to the core is helpful. So hand to the heart, press your foot into your hand and inhale, lift your chest. And then exhale, slowly release the foot. And just stand for a moment and feel the difference. Right and left leg, right and left lung. And we'll go to the second side. So stand on your left leg. And rather than having to bow forward and kind of contort yourself to get your foot or your knee, see if you could keep things steady and quiet and lift the foot up. Maybe take the arm out to the side, knee out to the side, and then push through the ball nine of the foot as you stretch your leg to straight. A couple deep breaths here. Again, whatever variation you need to do, and if you need to be at a wall to support this extended arm, go for it. And then widening the leg out to the side. Again, not too far. And then bring the leg back to the center. Hold the foot. Go for the nice twist in support of your artwork. A couple breaths. And then as you breathe, and in particular, if this is a challenging posture for you, do it anyway if it's not. Just remember that right now, you are not practicing alone. I don't know how many of us there are, but there are a lot of us practicing together in this moment. So all of our hearts, wherever we are, whatever we're feeling, are supported. So if you fall out, fall out. And then bring the knee back. So keeping your arms straight, just stretch it back. So we're not rotating it, it's just stretching back. Hand holds inner foot, opposite hand to the heart. If you get back pain here, widen your foot towards your outer hip. And then push the foot into the hand. Okay, slowly lower the foot to the floor. Stand, integrate, and feel it. And then slowly come on down. Oh my gosh, it's 11:48 already. We may go more than an hour. Sorry about that, y'all. So come down to Malasana, stretching your arms forward to extend through the sides of your waistline, your back body, just bowing in. This is another good way to open up the hips. And then start to stretch your legs to straight. Widen them to heel them out to the side for Prasarita Padottanasana. Hands to your hips, inhale, lift up and out, and then tipping your pelvis, exhale, fold, bring your hands wherever they want to go. Floor, hips, legs. If you feel like taking it up into headstand, you may, by placing your palms under elbows at 90, head to the floor, and then inhale, go on up, but no need. And then we'll take one more twist here. So options to bring left hand under shoulder, opposite hand to low back, and then inhale, lift up and out, twist and open. Or I always prefer it to take the hand to the opposite leg, and then twist. And then inhale, come back to the center. And second side. And inhale, come on back to the middle. Place your palms. Step, walk, jump to the center. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Lower your palms down. Stand and feel. All right, so we'll do a vinyasa flow towards pigeon. And if you do pigeon, lying on your back, ankle crossed over knee, go for it. And just fun if you're interested. I got my front door open, and so I'm looking out at the trees and the azaleas and the dogwoods. It's so beautiful. It brings loveliness to the heart, even when it's heavy or fearful or feeling all sorts of things all at one time. Let me get a sip of water and then we'll go to pigeon, thigh stretch, back bends. All right, here we go. Inhale, stretch it up. Bend your knees. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Place palms, step or jump. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And back to downward facing. Stretch it up. Bend the knees, step forward and through. From the hip joint, widen knee out to the side, lower it down. Lower your back leg down, it's in line with your hips. And then lower your forearms to the floor. And again, you could lie on your back and cross one ankle over the opposite knee. And so as you breathe here, again, rather than just rounding and slumping in your upper back, just taking a breath just to melt a little bit, melt through your upper back, let your collarbones broaden as you open because there is support. That you find capacity through the support of others. And if you're introverted like me, that can be hard when we just want to do it all by ourselves. Just remember that even when we feel like we're going it alone, we're not. And then inhale, come on up. And now for your thigh stretch, again, just go to where you are right now. And so that may be that you press your back knee down and lift up. That might be plenty. Or you can bend the back knee, reach around, hold the foot, and lift your hips up high so that you're really working your legs. You can also have an inch of this really. You can have a block under your hips. And if I'm going to challenge myself, because I rarely do this because I don't like it, because it's too hard and I just want to enjoy my pigeon, just take your arm to the sky. Ooh, it's intense. Lower your hand, lift your back knee, step it back, vinyasa if you would like, or just straight second side. Again, you could lie on your back or cross ankle over knee. Please don't feel that you have to get your front shin parallel to the front of the mat. I don't like that. I feel like it pulls too much on my body, puts unnecessary strain. So I keep mine at a good diagonal. Full breath to expand your back body and then exhale to settle and soften into it. And then inhale, come on up. Go for your thigh stretch. And if you hold the back foot, you can bend the elbow and sweep the hand around. Perhaps. You may. All right, here we go. I did it on the first side. Might as well do it on the second. Hug in a lot so you get a ton of strength. And then inhale, stretch it up. Oh, lower your hand, lower your foot. Miserable but powerful. Step back, downward facing dog. Melting through your upper back, filling through your low back, your kidneys, your waistline. And then inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower down. I'll just do a little wave here. Taking your fingertips out to the side, press the tops of your feet down, and inhale, lift up. Little cobra, and then exhale, lower down. And then inhale, lift up, maybe a little higher, exhale, lower down. And then inhale, lift up, maybe let's look over one shoulder, and then the center, over another shoulder, center. That pose has a name. I can't remember what it is. Exhale, lower down. And then just as a little preparation, because we're going there in a moment, interlace your fingers in your low back. And just soften for a moment. And then again, float your shoulder blades towards each other on the back. Please keep your elbows bent so that you're not hyperextending, so that you can really get into the full support of what's there. And then inhale, lift up. I keep my elbows bent. I don't want to hyperextend. That pulls it into my upper back, my neck, in a really uncomfortable way. If you'd like to lift your feet, you may. I'm happy here. And then slowly release. Turn your head to one side. And turn your head to the other side. And then come back to the center. And then come on up. All right. It's time. So, I am going to attempt Urdhva Dhanurasana, so full wheel, 8 times, 50-second holds each. It might not happen because this is a pretty intense back bend, and it's changed a lot since a car accident and pregnancy. But I'm going to try it and see how it goes. So, I encourage you to find a back bend that you can feel reasonably comfortable in doing multiple times in a row. And if you find, and I might find in the middle of it that I just can't hold the integrity in my back and something's going to go into spasm, and I'll change it to something a little bit more gentle. So back bending, so some nice back bend options would be Ustrasana, maybe with hands on pelvis and lifting up here. That's going to be a real strong challenge for your legs, not so much for your upper back. But that's fine. You'll still get a good challenge. You could do full Ustrasana, hands, 2 blocks, or what are those called? Heels. You could do variations of hands down, chest lifting. That might be one. Heels forward, lifting up. That would be a super intense option. You could do 8 bridge poses. This may be one I end up coming to. This one you might just stay in the whole time. But to come into bridge and place a block up underneath your hips, lifting shoulders, rolling them back. Oh, that's nice. So I might come there. And if you don't have a block, you could use a firm pillow or a set of books. I'm gonna need some water. Get my timer ready. Get inspired by the azaleas and by all of you practicing and doing this together. It may end up just being me counting to 50 in each back bend, or it may be that I get I used to have a yoga timer, but not anymore. It may be that I get the stopwatch to work correctly. All right. Should be able to see it from there. Yep. All right. So pick your back bend. Get started. If you're going to Urdhva Dhanurasana, place your hands alongside your ears. Hug elbows in and then draw shoulders down so your armpits hollow. Ooh, I'm scared, y'all. So I might stop talking. And then inhale, if you're going to Urdhva D, come onto the top of your head. And lift it up. Support your legs by hugging them in, not so that they're touching, but so that they're strong. 10 seconds. And come on down. When we did this the first time, it was 30 seconds up, 30 seconds down, so 50 seconds is pretty long. Get ready, number 2. You don't have to push through pain. That's not the point. So if you feel pain, adjust, stop, and start again. Five seconds. And come down. Don't stay too long down or you'll get sleepy and want to stop. All right, number 3. And if you feel pinching in your low back, it may be because your knees are wide. Hug them in a little bit so that you can both engage but simultaneously soften the glutes. Feel into the support of all those who are practicing with you virtually. Five seconds. All right, come on down. Whew. All right, that was 3. Get ready for 4. And as you're ready, go on up. You can come onto your 2 toes if you need to. Eight seconds. Who's counting? If you need to pause and take this little twist side to side. Felt that in my right thigh, so I'm not expecting that. Also migrated apparently. All right, halfway done. Halfway there. We can do this. Why did I say 50-second holds? 30 seconds would be much easier. But there we go. And go. Oh no. My stopwatch. Okay. Now go. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 5. Just 3 more. My little green light is still on. Yep, we're still going. All right. Here we go. And stopwatch. Nope. Whatever's coming up in your heart as it's opening, fear, joy, focus, frustration, anxiety, delight, all of the above, give it space and give it support. Five seconds. All right, so we've got 2 more. If you've been doing the same one and you feel that you can hold it, keep going. I'm going to try variations on these last 2. If you need to come down and do something a little more gentle or just rest, please feel free to do that as well. Okay, so for this Urdhva Dhanurasana, I'm going to attempt the Ekapada versions. 1 leg up. Although I realize I'm sort of doing that as distraction, so I may not do it. We'll see. Yeah, that was distraction. I'm going to keep going with just where I am. For 5 seconds. Oh. Whew. Just 1 more. We are almost there. So even though I said all that about variation, I realized when I went up, I was trying to distract myself from the intensity rather than just staying in it to see what it has to reveal. All right. 8 times charm. And so it doesn't stop. Just 20 more seconds. You've got this. You're not alone. Three, 2. Oh, no, I counted wrong. 7 more seconds. Sorry. 4, 3, 2, 1. As they say, I nailed it. You're done. Whew. You want to do 8 more? I don't know. Feeling strong, but I won't push the integrity of my spine. So when you come back down to lie on your back, just be still. Before you do any twisting or rolling it out, just be still. And the heart loves stillness. It's where it can feel and integrate and open and be heard. Body loves stillness for the same reasons. And then when you're ready, so I'm going to scooch depending on where you are. Take your arms up to the side, lower your knees, doesn't matter which side, to one side for a nice twist. You can turn your head. I've never liked that, so I just keep my head straight. That's just how it feels on my body. I sure hope I counted right and that we did 8 back bends. If I didn't, oh well. Come back to the center. To a second side. Just 1 or 2 more breaths. And then inhale, back to the center. You can take happy baby, bending the knees out to the side, holding the backs of your legs, ankles, or feet. And then stretch your legs to straight. Run up and down the backs of your legs, massage. Come by and flex your toes. And then inhale, come on up. Get some water, need some water. All right. Child's pose. No. Hanumanasana. Child's pose. More than likely done, unless I change my mind. So, for Hanumanasana, if you have blocks, you can use them. I nowadays do use a block for my Hanumanasana. Again, this is a capacity that's changed, but finding fullness wherever we are. So your Hanumanasana may be 1 foot forward, hands down as we were doing earlier. Or you can have your hands on blocks. If I have enough space, my carpet's in the way. I'm going to stretch the foot forward. And again, remember Hanuman, Indiana Jones, the monkey who learned his capacities when he was in service to others. That's not the only way we learn what we're capable of, but it is one. Certainly having a child has taught me that. So stay as you are or start to stretch forward. You can keep your hands on the blocks. You can lower your hands to the floor. I can do that, but that's so much better to just honor exactly where you are and find fullness there. You can have back toes flexed, top of the foot on the floor. You want to lift up and celebrate all that you've done in your practice so far. Go for it. And if you want to take a nice forward fold, again, lifting shoulders up, go for it. And then inhale slowly and carefully. Make your way to the second side. Whatever that is, doesn't matter which side you started on. Hello. And slowly come on up and out. And stretch it back. Child's pose. Breathing deep into the relief for your low back, to the expansion in your back body, your back ribs, your lungs. Feeling the opening in your heart. As you're ready, we'll go straight into it. If you need any small poses, so nothing intense at this point, just keep it small, simple. If you need anything small or simple to prepare for your Shavasana, add on some extra clothing, you can do that as well. I'm gonna sit and just lead us for a meditation. Sometimes I end my practice in Shavasana, sometimes I sit for meditation. It felt really weird to lie down in Shavasana on a live stream. So we'll do a little heart meditation. Good. All right. So find your way to a comfortable resting posture. You know your body, you know where you need to be. If you want to lie on your side or lie in the back with your feet up the wall, or sit for meditation, or lie in the classic for Shavasana, or bolster with support, let's find a place where you can soften, where you can breathe. You can feel your pulse. It might be still a little bit rapid. Your body vibrating with the prana that you have moved, the life force that you have invigorated your body and spirit with through your practice. And then as you breathe, start to draw your attention in from the space of the eyebrows to the center of your head. And then move from the center of your head down the central channel, the Sushumna Nadi, the one who is most gracious. Follow that down in front of your spine to the center of your chest. To whatever you feel, just not analyzing it too much, but just feel a heart center, heart space. And notice how it feels, notice what you feel. Is there an expansion, a contraction? If there are colors, what colors do you sense or see? And then we'll come back to the heart, but now drop from your heart down into your pelvis so that you feel a deep grounding and energetic connection from your crown, your head, your heart, down into the root of your trunk, torso. And sit in that support for a few moments. And then keeping that sense of weight and support in your low body, bring your attention back up into your heart space. And maybe start to envision it. There are a set of double doors opening wide, expanding out beyond the beyond your interior or deep within your interior. It's opening into something vast, opening into this vast heart space that we all share and are consciously sharing right now. And whatever feeling or emotion arises for you in this space, let it have room to exist. If you feel you need to cry, cry. If you feel you need to smile, smile. Or anywhere in between. Or if there's a sense of nothingness, sit there too. Continue to feel the support around you and within you, for the wide open heart. Now let's all bring the expansion back inward, almost making it small and focused, like a tiny orb of light in your heart. As we offer prayers for all who feel tight in their heart, feel pain, are dealing with great loss, fear at this time. May we extend them space. May we extend them love. May we extend a healing that isn't necessarily a freedom from disease or pain, but a softening into support. And as you're ready, you can bring your palms together in front of your heart. And take a moment to give thanks for all that you have, for all that you can give. thanks to those of you, known and unknown, who showed up to practice together this morning in this new world on this beautiful spring day. May I thank you for sharing and celebrating this 40th birthday with me as we move deeper into our capacity to feel, to do, to grow, to be of support. And I bow to each of you. Namaste.